The Pope has, in general, called for the church to come out of itself, to face the world in an outward way, to be a poor church among the poor, and not to be an inward-looking, self-contented church. That message, though, I think gets traction from the fact that the Pope is able to address the world in a very human way. To be a poor church among the poor, I think, first and foremost, means to encounter human beings as persons, as individual persons, rather than as any sort of members of a demographic group, religious or otherwise, but to see them as the irreplaceable human beings that they are. And Pope Francis signaled that this was his MO from the very beginning when he appeared on the balcony in St. Peter's Square and greeted the world and greeted the crowd there simply and informally and personally, just by saying good evening. And he's carried that way of interacting with others throughout his pontificate, from the embrace of the disfigured man early on, or one of my favorites, the encounter he had with a young boy who, during a papal event, was just sort of running around his chair and his altar, I guess, and he sees people, I think, as people, as part of a family, the part of the family of God, but reaches out to them individually. So that ability to create a personal encounter, an individual encounter with people, they see that really that's where the heart of the faith begins, with an encounter. Pope Francis would flesh that out theologically by saying that each of us is encountered by God, and that's what we're made for. But his main virtue, I think, is that he's able to connect with people on that individual human level, not as a person of state or a person of a particular office, but as a human being first and foremost, a human being that's trying to live out the Christian faith and to embody the person of Christ wherever he goes.